Welcome to Full Focus. I'm Karen Brostata. Tonight's special edition of the program examines the intersection of life, poetry, and music. Stay tuned for Work in Progress.
I'm Gina Liu. Welcome to Work in Progress, the show about San Diego's performing arts. Back in the 1950s and 60s, the Beat generation found an outlet for their creative energy and social commentary in performance poetry. Over the last few years, coffee houses around the country have begun hosting open mic nights. This has reawakened interest in the spoken word as a performance art, and San Diego has a fascinating spoken word scene. We are thrilled to bring you some of the performers from the local scene, and we'll start the evening with a piece by the Able-Minded Poets. They are one of a handful of local groups known as poet bands.
What happened to us along the way? We were children. It didn't matter who you were or where we came from. We all played together, from the monkey bars in the sandbox to kickball in Forest Square. Short, tall, skinny, fat, long, straight, curly, and nappy hair. No one cared. Back then we said lunch and nap time, and never once did it enter our minds that this was not the way it was supposed to be. We were just mesh lovely, mesh lovely, mesh lovely, mesh lovely. And this is the way it was until they planted the seeds of separation and degradation. Then fertilized it with a little bit of racism. Then you woke up one morning a clone with hatred in your heart. The same hatred that is crippling mankind. The mankind I'm here for. The mankind I cry for. The mankind I live for. The mankind I give for. And here it is, 2003, and we're still being held back by our inability to mess, which just means mankind eternally standing hand in hand in our village, which is dope. But you can't see the beauty through the hatred born from pride. And for all those that believe in God, if you truly believed, it would be God bless the world and not just America. Because if you listen closely, you can definitely hear the world crying, which is why I'm asking, will we ever match lovely, match lovely, match lovely? Will we ever match lovely, match lovely, match lovely? Match lovely, yeah. Match lovely, yeah. Match lovely, yeah. Match lovely, yeah. So match lovely, will we ever? We know life's not a party, but we still can have some fun with it without sacrificing consciousness. And match lovely, will we ever see the glory of the sun for the journey just beginning for the human? And match lovely, will we ever come together as a unit, community pursuing rescue and renewal? We come with love in our heart, not looking for approval, but for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, it's for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, yes, for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, spoken word movement. Mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, and spirit, it's for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, yes, for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, it's for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, yes, for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, it's for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, yes, for movement. Mind, body, and spoken word movement.
Can I spray uno naciamba huele and more? Now before I be like and I feel like arranging over the love warrior. Now know assumptions to assume late night thoughts around the moon circulate to cutting patterns to the shadows of your glass vibrate and gyrate with this verbalistic jazz pizzazz in which we has now. Now how do I spell war? W-A-R? It's like a what up? Wicked whistle, wailing war, worldly weaponry, waxing ammunition, able-minded artillery, anticipate aggression, redemption, redeeming raw, refuse and repeat a royal Republican remission to put you in submission. A new kind of transition, mention love you like wonder on this funky individual. So will we ever, brothers and sisters, will we ever, will we ever?
Match lovely, match lovely, will we ever? Match lovely, match lovely, match lovely. Mind, body, and spirit, it's for movement. 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 Mind, body, and spirit, yes, for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, it's for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, the word movement. Mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, and spirit, it's for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, yes, for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, yes, for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, it's for movement. Mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, spirit. Mind, body, spirit.
We grow miles with every step we walk in wisdom of the world around us. A smile becomes worth much more than its weight in gold. Children begin to see past the taking to the world, inspiring growth. The desire to love, the desire to be loved. Daily the sun shines a little less as the negativity breaks down the once unbreakable walls of my fortress. Temple no longer sacred, deteriorated from the hatred.
A lack of respect we reflect upon each other in our daily travels. From morning walk stairs, a stereotypical reaction, instantly categorizing me into a stereotypical faction before I even utter the first words of my morning greetings. Of no judgments, just love and respect which are a source supply, even though demand is sky high. Common courtesy thrown out the 13th floor window. No one willing to go that extra 5,280 to make you smile.
Downtown miles traveled,
At least half I see are dwelling in a state of negativity.
trying to snatch my sunshine like time, snatching my youth.
For the sun rises no more in this reality they have created. In this reality where they have demonstrated a lack of understanding.
Failing to see how easy it could be to mesh lovely. Failing to see that one day we could all mesh lovely.
So will we ever
Mesh lovely, mesh lovely, mesh lovely, mesh lovely, and will we ever mesh lovely, mesh lovely, mesh lovely. Mind, body, and spirit is for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, that's for movement. Mind, body, and spirit is for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, that's for movement. Mind, body, and spirit is for movement. Mind, body, and spirit, that's for movement. Mind, body, and spoken word movement. Mind, body, and spirit.
Joining us on the stage now are the able-minded poets. They are B.E. Dean, Nazareth, and Jacob Jones. We also have Alyssa Lazar, a young poet who just recently began performing her work, and Adrian Arancibia. He is a PhD candidate at UCSD and one of the founding members of the Taco Shop Poets, a fine poet in his own right. Adrian has agreed to come on the show this evening to add perspective on the developments in San Diego's spoken word scene. Thank you all very much. Very high energy performance, guys. And before we come to you and give you a chance to speak, we already have a question from one of our audience members, if you please. And also a nice round of applause for the able-minded poets musicians. They are Lewis Hill on drums and vocal effects and Danny Smith on bass. So please join us again. And please join us again for the next installment of Work in Progress. Here now are the able-minded poets performing Downtown.
Right. It's a place we spent quite a bit of time at. Get rid of
Nothing
this.
that you can do. Nothing that you can do. Nothing that you can do.
Downtown. Downtown, metal and brick buildings twist and sprawl till it becomes nature. Nature becomes strategically placed like propaganda, undercover agents or outsiders looking in while people are not what they seem. Buildings withstand winters of punishment. Downtown land is up to squander in parking lots while tweakers to search person to person for their next fix. Polio Pete predicts 13-point earthquake in 2006. Offers up a buck for a push 2 blocks down to Broadway, reminding me that everybody needs help sometimes. Reminds me that all help comes at a cost. And possibly threefold more than what you have bargained for, but inevitably never seeing the bottom line until failure shows you again. And you see that this is twice now, and 3 strikes you're out. Doubtful you learned your lesson, though in the late lonely nights you feel as if you have, when all you have is the memories of lost love and defeat to keep you from sleeping. And the house creaks, almost mockingly as if to say, you'll be old soon too, and there's nothing that you could do about it. And she'll leave you for another, and there's nothing that you could do about it. And the city will continue to consume, and there's nothing that you can do. There's nothing that you can do. Said there's nothing that you can do about it, and there's nothing that you can do. Said there's nothing that you can do about it, and there's nothing that you can do. There's nothing that you can do about it, and there's nothing that you can do. Said there's nothing that you can do about it. And 1,500 miles away, a woman lays naked to the world, awaiting the seed of life to be planted. She hasn't yet had the chance to feel true love from a man or a family. Had only seen city cylinder block barricade, and every night the guns would sound the start of the race. And time ticked on live, stopwatch, and fast and steady for her. Well, it ran out, so she ran out, cause there had to be a place out there somewhere, a place out there for her, away from bum-cluttered sidewalks and trash-riddled curbs. Sure, there's tall, majestic buildings and luxury apartments fit for kings, but it was the dirt, the mean people, the insensitivity that left an impression on her. Her being a being of love and wanting to spread it, realized that most people are just addicted to havoc and said forget it and headed for the hills. Cause that place in her mind that she would hide to fight lifetime after time would no longer suffice, but pride wouldn't let her lay down and die. Pride